What's up, guys? It's Ryan. I wanted to talk about my current Blue-Eyes list for the April 2025 format post-ban list. I did put a video out right after the ban list dropped. That, however, was before I had the opportunity to test the deck out in person at an actual locals. I did get the chance to go today. I came back a few hours ago, and I just wanted to go over what my deck was, what worked, what didn't, kind of go over the list, having actually played it, because it did change a little bit since my post-ban list dropped. So I came 5th overall, going 3-1. Technically, my round 2 was a bye, so I beat 2 people, lost my first game. It was really, really close. I almost had it. So my first match was against Salamangreat. I would have had it. I lost in time. If I had one more turn, I definitely could have brought it home. I was actually up 3,000 life points. There was 2 minutes in the duel on his turn, and unfortunately, I had a cracked board too. I had like Chaos Angel, Spirit Dragon, Blue Eyes, Maiden. I had Drill Beam face down. I had True Light up. I think I had an Imperm. I had a lot of really good stuff on board. Like, I thought I was undefeated at that point. I had both effects of Chaos Angel active, and unfortunately, he was able to destroy the True Light, which wiped my board, and it was a rough time. Round 2, I had the bye. Round 3, I was up against this pile deck. It was like, it was Azamina, Evil Hero, what was it, Chimera. I think there was even another pile to it. And every time each game, there was like another pile that got revealed to me. And I ended up beating him in game 3, and then he dropped, and then it went to round 4. I played a mirror Blue Eyes match. But he was a nice guy, knew enough about what he was doing, but he was still pretty green to the deck. He was playing, I think, more of a pure build. He had a little bit of a Albaz engine going, so it was like a Blue Eyes Albaz. But yeah, so it's a 40 card list. I wanted to kind of show you what I was playing. I think that a lot of the things I tried worked, and there's a couple things that I didn't get to try that I'm hoping I can do next time. But without further ado, I apologize, we're like 3 minutes in already, so people have already probably clicked off. But yeah, so let's start with the main. So in the main, nothing has changed with my Blue Eyes count. So that's at 2. I had a couple Blue Eyes duelists who were like fairly new, like my round 4 opponent, and there was a guy sitting next to me in round 4 as well, who kind of asked me, like, how many Blue Eyes do you play? I told him I think 2 is the number, 1 is too few, and 3 is way too many. And then I'm also on the 1 Kaiser Seahorse. Same reasons as before. I like to go into my Synchro 10, like the Chaos Angel, and honestly, like, some people say it's kind of bad, but it's really not. It's a low risk, high reward card. It's in engine, it's a dragon, so it's searchable by Magnamute. It summons itself if you have Blue Eyes in field, so it actively unbricks you. If it's your only normal summon, it goes full combo, like gets you on Spirit Dragons with your True Light. Like, it's a great card. It also chain blocks your Spirit with Eyes of Blue, so it's pretty fantastic. The real win of today. So I've been playing with a common Sage with Eyes of Blue, as well as my 2 first edition Shining Victories. A friend of mine actually found unlimited Sage from Shining Victory to match my set. Mine were first ed, but his was unlimited. I was like, okay. And then I said, wouldn't it be funny if today's the day I pulled the ulti? Well, today's the day I pulled an ulti, and I'm gonna try and get it in focus here. It is gorgeous. Like, this is a good looking ulti. It's one of the best ultis I've ever pulled. This thing is phenomenal. My camera is terrible, so I apologize, but yeah, so 3 Sage, not a very contentious thing. 3 Maiden again. 3 wishes. I loved having 3. I saw 2 wishes in my opening hand actually quite a bit today. But you know what you do? You activate wishes, you discard wishes for cost. That's it, guys. Seriously. Super, super simple. I don't think 2 wishes is the play. You can always side 1 to 2 of them out, and if you side 2 of them out, you can side out the Majesty. You can search True Light off wishes. Is it optimal? Not necessarily. But if you draw the Roar and the wishes, and after you've sided out, you can always search the True Light so it's not dead. It's fine. Like, come on, guys. Mausoleum, Roar, each at 1. You never really want to draw this. I actually drew it a couple of times. It was fine. Roar's good. Just play it at 1. I don't think you need 2. 1 True Light, 1 Majesty. Again, you don't really want to see this in open. You'd prefer not to see this in open. But it's fine. If you do see it in open, it's a great card to just set. It's fine. It's a good card. Really good card. Play it. I think that not every Blue-Eyes Duelist is playing it, and I think that's a mistake. I think this card is required. I really do. Some people don't think it's required. I absolutely do. It's another target, which you want, but also just, come on, it's a fantastic card. Non-target pop is premium removal, and it's any card. It doesn't have to be face up. It doesn't have to be like monsters. Like it's anything, any card. Primite engine. This hasn't changed. 3 load, 1 drill beam. Very simple. Keep it easy. You can play 2 of these if you want. I don't think 2 is required because it is a hard once. This card was insane today. It came in absolute clutch. It actually is the reason I won the game versus the pile deck, the Azamina deck. It was crazy. I got into a simplified game state. He had popped my True Light, which stopped me from alpha striking him because I had a bunch of creatures out. He ended up popping the True Light. I had this already set from that turn, and then the only thing I was left with was a load. I declared Blue-Eyes, summoned it out of grave, summoned Maiden out of grave, and instead of synchroing, I just kept it as Blue-Eyes and Maiden because he only had 2 in hand. He draws, he discards 1 to summon Diabellstar, activates effect, I go Drill Beam, target Diabellstar, he scooped it up. Phenomenal card. And also, if you're ever playing against a deck with Diabellstar, impermanent or something, stop the Diabellstar. It stops a lot of their play. 2 Bestials. I'm on Mag and Druisworm. I actually was thinking about running 41 cards today to run Baldrake. I ended up not. I'm kind of glad I didn't, but at the same time, it's like not necessarily something I would have known if it was good or bad. You know what I mean? Because like you can't really prove a negative. But it's nice. It's nice to run these. You know, it's Grave Interruption, which is absurdly powerful right now, especially with, I think Fiendsmith is just going to be that much better because of what happened to Malice and Ryziel. The guy who plays Ryziel, who has played Ryziel every single week I've gone since December, like since the set dropped, with Ryziel and Malice in it, wasn't even on Ryziel today. So that might tell you something, guys. Might tell you something. I picked up a detonator off him today for Metaltronus target, but I didn't play Metaltronus and I didn't play the Ryziel. But there's a lot of flex spots in my extra, and we'll get there when we get there. For consistency, I'm on 1 Prosby, I'm on 1 Talent, and then I'm also on 1 Called By. This card came in really clutch for me today in my game 1 versus the pile deck with Azamina. I had a kind of a rough start, but I was able to, like, I maidened into True Light, and then I went True Light to set, and I was going for wishes so I could start, and he tried to Ghost Ogre, and boom, had this. That's kind of why I wanted to keep it at 40, so I had a better chance of seeing something like this, or the Prosby or the Talent. Talent's at 1, so, I mean, there's almost no reason you don't play this card anymore, and it's a phenomenal card, seriously. Like, when it was at 3, I was running it at 3, the card's great. And Prosby, a lot of people are like, oh, the extra deck's too tight. Disagree. Honestly, even just Prosbying for 3 is phenomenal, and it's so easy to do for 3, but if you really got to do it for 6, there's absolutely cards you can send. It's really good. And you side it out going second, because you typically don't want to do it. I lost, I want to say, 2 of my 3 die rolls today, because again, I had the bye round 2, and I was able to in my third or my final round against the Blue-Eyes use this after I had already like attacked him a bunch because it doesn't have the restriction that Extravagance does. This card's just crazy. The guy next to me actually thought Prospeed was banned. He's like, isn't that banned? I said, no, it's that one. You're good. Hand traps. 3 Ash. This is standard. I think Ash should be in every deck right now. It's really crazy, especially with all the Mulcharmies. Then I'm on 3 Veiler. This card is essentially an engine piece, searchable by your Sage, searchable by your wishes. It is phenomenal to be able to Veiler somebody over and over again, because it doesn't have the once per turn limit, hard once limit, nothing like that. You can summon it, go into your plays, it counts as an additional summon off Mausoleum. It's pretty crazy. And then I'm on 3 Fubulos. Finally got to use a Mulcharmy. So this is the first time I've gotten to play since regionals. Oh my goodness, the focus. Terrible. I haven't even been looking at my screen. My bad, guys. I don't know how long that was going. This is the first time I've gotten to use the Mulcharmies. This is the first time I played since the regionals on March 30th. Today is technically the day of the locals was the 19th. It's actually like after 2 in the morning now, so it's the 20th. But you know, like 20 days ago I played, and I got these, but I haven't played since. But yeah, this card is great. This card was glued to my hand today. I opened Fubulos every single game it was in my main deck, except for one time. And actually once I opened 2 of them, so I double Fubulost. And let's just say he was cooked. And then triple Imperm is my last card. So again, 40 card list, nice and clean, nice and simple. I wouldn't really change anything about the main. Like, again, maybe play a 1-of Baldrake, but then I'd probably just pump it to 41 rather than playing the 40. Or you could cut the Called By and put the Called By on the side for when you know you're going first. But I liked Called By in the main today. You can always side it out going second. Next, we're going to go into the extra deck. So this one's pretty simple. So we're on double Spirit. 2 Spirits really all you need. You can play 3. I never find myself missing 3, but if you have a slot that you don't really know what to fill, maybe there's an expensive card that you'd like to get but you can't get yet, this is absolutely fine to run at 3. There's no problem. But running it at 1 is a no-no. Like, you want to be able to get into this card more than once. Like, even just to use it as like a Monster Reborn for your Blue-Eyes White Dragon, it is nice to go into. It's also nice to go into when you can just turn a spellcaster into a Seals, essentially. It's like, you normal summon, say, Effect Veiler, or Sage, or Maiden, and then you go link 1 into this, you have another dragon on board, you go into Seals. And speaking of Seals, I run 2 Seals. I was on the 1 Seals train. Honestly, I have not wanted to go back to 1 ever since I've started running 2 again. I love this thing at 2. I love being able to go into it a second time. I have plenty of targets in the main board to get with it, like 2 Blue-Eyes, 1 Kaiser, 2 Bestials, and 3 Ether Barrels. So this thing is crazy. It's an excellent piece of interaction, and it's actually good defensively, because if you end with like True Light and this up, like face up, and your opponent opens, say, Feather Duster, and you don't have something to stop it, you can just respond by chaining this, bouncing the True Light to hand, and then it'll, you know, might blow up any other back row you have, but then you don't have to worry about the True Light, A, being destroyed, and B, blowing up any other monsters that you might have. So 2 Seals, again, just because of the consistency to go into the thing is crazy. Also on 1 SP, this did not come up for me today, but I wanted to have something that was generic to go into. It's also just a nice removal piece. So I did run 1 SP for the fusions, Neo and Tyrant. You could always play 2 Tyrant. I wouldn't say that is incorrect. I just don't really have the room. Like, there are flex spots, but I wanted to explore other options with my flex spots. So I like this at 1. It's a phenomenal card. And I mean, you gotta run it. It's probably the deck's biggest guy. Then for synchros, let me just center this a little bit better, and I'll go for a second row rather than go off screen. Synchros, I'm on 2 Spirit Dragon. Again, this is another thing that you could play at 3. I don't find myself missing the third one. I don't think it's necessary. And then I'm on 1 of the Ultimate Spirit. You could play this at 2. I was actually considering playing this at 2 today. I decided to go another way. It never really came up. I actually don't think I went into this even once today. Not for lack of trying. I did try to go into it. I didn't play Spirit a lot today, actually. I mostly ended on Seals. But that's just how it panned out. Like, I went into Spirit a couple of times, but I kept getting my board wiped. I really, really dislike that True Light has that that negative effect. I think it's really dumb. The card is not so old that it should have such a big drawback on it, in my opinion. I was on 1 Azure Eyes. This did not come up today. It often doesn't, but it's really nice to have, especially if you ever go, I've talked about this before, if you go end on double. I actually tried it today. I got greedy and I paid for it, but I tried to go into double these, and then you can, on their draw step, go into both of these, and then you don't lose this on the end phase resolution, because this protects from target and destruction. But keep in mind, it protects from target for 2 turns, target and destruction for 2 turns for both players. So you cannot target your Blue-Eyes White Dragon, if it's on the field when this resolves, with the wishes in the grave to equip. Can't do it. 1 Lightstorm. Honorary Blue Eyes card. Card's crazy. I ran into a couple guys today that didn't have this card, and I recommended it. It's not gonna come up a whole lot, in my opinion. Like, I didn't go into it at all today, but it's nice to have the back row pop, and it also sets a card when it dies. So, like when it's destroyed. Moonlight Dragon, again, another thing that did not come up today, but it's always really good to have because it's another target for the Spirit Dragon, and it's easy to make off of any of your level 1 tuners plus a Bestial. And then it's bounce. So my first Synchro Tandem on Chaos Angel, I talked about this. This card has overperformed every single time I have played it. A free banish on summon is insane. It's any card. It doesn't have to be face up. It doesn't have to be a monster. And it's also optional. So it's not a mandatory thing if you summon it, it's the only thing on field. And then it becomes a pseudo towers that, if you use both elements, both attributes, can protect your board from destruction. For my last card, the one piece of interesting tech I played was Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Changing. This did not come up today, unfortunately. I had a choice between summoning Chaos Angel and this at one point. I played the Chaos Angel. I'm really glad I did because he nibbed me. Chaos Angel is nib proof with a light monster. So, Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Changing. The reason for this is I think it's really good right now with Detonator being at 1. So, if it were to be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish a card from your graveyard instead. So it protects from, and that's a non-once per turn. Like, you can do it as many times as you want a turn. As many times as you want per chain. You can just keep doing it as long as you have cards in your graveyard to banish. And it's a replacement effect. So it's not an activated ability. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. It's late, guys. Sorry. It's generic, so you can go into it with basically anything. It's water, so like if they have things that shut off light or darks for whatever reason, it's protected from that. And it can pump while it also weakens your opponent per banished card, which this card, this deck deals with banished cards a little bit. 3k attack defense is nothing to, stick your nose up at. And like I said, against Ryziel, you protect yourself, and then you can just banish a card as a hard once, banish a card out of their grave and their field. So hitting the Detonator with this is really good. I didn't go into it today, and maybe Ryziel is on the decline until it gets the new support. I don't know, but I didn't run into Ryziel today. The one guy who plays Ryziel wasn't on it today, and I didn't actually summon this today. But I'm excited to keep using it because I think that it's actually going to catch some people off guard. I think it's going to do really well. So that is my extra, and we're going to go on the side, and then I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'm sorry, this is a long video. So the extra hasn't really changed, or sorry, the side hasn't really changed. Triple Lancia, standard. I didn't play in Malice today, but there was a kid that was there playing Malice who, he was, so before my locals started this evening, it was like 6:30, I guess earlier in the day, starting at like 2, there was like a quarter century Stampede box tournament, and there was a few people that didn't stick around, but one of the guys, one of the kids that came was playing Malice, and yeah, so people are still playing Malice. And then I'm on Meow for the same reason. So these 6 cards are my Malice hate. Then I'm on 3 Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. So this is for Fiendsmith, and it's also for the Blue-Eyes Mirror Match, along with any other light decks that you might run into. Now, I didn't run into any Fiendsmith today. Actually, that's not true. I did, but right, it was the Azamina pile. So it was Evil Hero, Azamina, Chimera, Fiendsmith. It's just 4 piles. It was wild. But I didn't see the Fiendsmith pile until game 3, so I was thinking about bringing this in because he did have a couple of lights, but I didn't want to chance. Because again, I kept getting engines revealed to me, so. But I think this card's going to be really good. This, or even like DD Crow, honestly. Like, something that can help with the, like, banishing from grave at instant speed, or at quick effect speed, because the graveyard right now is just such a resource, and decks like Blue-Eyes, it's really important for, and decks like Fiendsmith, this card just will tear apart. So you don't have to worry about, like, oh, their Lurie activates, but you can't use your Bestial because they don't have a card on field yet. Boom, Cycle Reader. And then I'm on Double Storm and Duster. I think this is still, it's hard to say the word mandatory in a sideboard because, like, it's meta dependent, but, like, basically every deck uses the back row, right? So this is really good. These cards always perform really well. I actually had a game where I opened both of these, and this happened when I was at regionals as well, but it just, yeah, it's really, really good. And then my final slot is the Triple Judgment. So again, this is one of those cards that is really good. It could be any going first card. This is my going first card. And then these were my going second cards. And then I had the Grave Hate cards. And then I had the Malice Hate cards with, yeah. So a lot of my side deck is tuned towards Malice, but not all of it. So yeah, that was my deck profile for the new format, and hope you liked it. Sorry I was a little low energy today. I'm pretty exhausted. So let me know what you thought, and have a good one, guys.